They're fresh out of college, and they make more than me? After 9 damn years? I stood in that conference room, holding back tears, but inside, something snapped, like, share and subscribe if you've ever been underestimated or overlooked. This one's for you. The new hires were sitting across the table with smug smiles. Suits too crisp. Laptops too shiny. I'd trained some of them myself. But when the salary sheets got accidentally leaked in an email thread, my stomach twisted. They were getting 40% more than me. 40%. I marched straight to my manager, Dan, the same guy I covered for during his divorce, the same guy who promised me next quarter's promotion. He looked at me, dead in the eyes, and said, "You're reliable, Ellie. You don't complain. They're here to bring fresh energy. Be a team player." Team player, I gave up weekends. Skipped birthdays. Slept in the office twice. And now I'm supposed to clap for people making more than me just because they have shinier degrees and zero experience, but I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just smiled. What they didn't know was that for the past 2 years, every night after work, I was quietly building something bigger than any salary raise could offer. A digital automation tool. I had already filed the patent. I had early interest from 2 investors. But I kept it hidden. Because I knew this day would come, and now, I was done being their backup player. I started packaging everything. Codes, workflows, NDA drafts. I contacted a VC firm that had been chasing me. And then, I sent a calendar invite, subject, Ellie's resignation and demonstration, invitees, entire leadership team. I clicked send, and sat back. They wanted silence? They were about to hear the loudest goodbye they'd ever seen. The conference room was packed. Dan sat at the head of the table, pretending to scroll through his phone like I didn't exist. The same VPs who once called me the backbone of the team barely made eye contact. But I noticed their confusion, the kind that grows when someone they underestimated suddenly walks in with confidence. I plugged in my laptop. The lights dimmed. The projector lit up. No small talk. No farewell speech, just a simple line on the screen: 9 years of loyalty. 2 years of building. Now it's my turn. Then I clicked play. A full demo of the automation tool began, streamlined workflows, cost-cutting features, AI integration that reduced human error by 82%. I watched their jaws slowly drop as the numbers started flashing. Time saved. Money saved. Headcounts optimized, and then came the final slide: acquisition offer. $3.2 million, pending signature. Dead silence. Dan's voice cracked first. "Wait, you built this? On your own?" I nodded. "Every night, every weekend. While your fresh energy was partying on the company card." Another VP leaned in. "Is it too late to discuss retention options?" I smiled. "Already signed the deal this morning. I just wanted you to see what you lost." Dan looked like he'd been hit by a truck. "But Ellie, we were going to promote you next quarter." I laughed, not out of humor, but out of sheer disbelief. "Dan, you promoted people I trained. You gave my ideas to interns. You copied my project plans and put your name on them. I waited 9 years. This is your next quarter." One of the newcomers, Rachel, the Ivy League hire who once called my Excel templates primitive, whispered to her friend, "She's the one who built that? We're screwed." I turned to the room. "Don't worry. I'm not staying in the industry. But I'll be licensing the software, so technically, you'll still be working for me." And with that, I unplugged the laptop, dropped my badge on the table, and walked out. But just when I thought the drama was over, a week later, my inbox pinged with an NDA breach notice. Turns out, someone tried to steal my tool's early code, and the name on the login trail? Dan. I stared at the email, heart pounding. A legal flag from my own licensing dashboard. Someone had tried to access restricted backend files only I had clearance for. And the IP address? It traced back to Dan's company laptop. He didn't just let me go. He was trying to steal what I built. Without wasting a second, I called my lawyer. We'd already prepared for this. I had encrypted every single file and set up digital tripwires. Anyone who tried accessing the code without clearance would leave a trail a mile long. And Dan? He walked right into it. That afternoon, I walked into the same building one last time, but not through the employee entrance. I was escorted in by security, with a legal notice in my hand and a smirk that said checkmate. Dan was in the break room, laughing with some of the VPs, until he saw me, his smile dropped. Ellie? What are you doing here? I tossed the thick envelope on the table. This is a cease and desist. Also includes breach of contract, attempted theft of intellectual property, and digital fraud. You have 48 hours to respond. Or we go public. His face drained. Ellie, come on. We were just curious. It's a gray area, I cut him off. It's not gray. It's illegal. And I've got logs, timestamps, even screen recordings. Try denying it in court. He stumbled over words. Let's talk this out. I'm sure we can come to an arrangement. Now he wanted an arrangement? The same man who denied my raise because I was too loyal to cause waves. I leaned in. The only arrangement I'm interested in is seeing you explain this to your board. And I left, but I didn't stop there. 2 days later, I uploaded a video, fully anonymized, of course, titled How My Boss Tried to Steal My Tech After I Quit. Within hours, it exploded. 3.1 million views. Comments flooded in. This is why you never stay silent at work. I felt this in my bones. Revenge done right. She's the real CEO. The internet crowned me a quiet genius. A business magazine reached out for a feature. And just when the buzz peaked, Dan's company stock dropped 18% overnight, because an internal investigation was launched, and someone from HR leaked a memo that changed everything. Dan wasn't the only one trying to steal from me. The leaked memo hit the internet like wildfire. An internal whistleblower from HR exposed that 3 executives, including Dan, had formed a secret committee months before I resigned. Their goal? To reverse engineer my automation tool and rebrand it as an in-house system before I could ever go public with it. They'd been watching me, stealing code from my emails, monitoring my laptop during off hours, all while smiling to my face. I was stunned. It wasn't just betrayal, it was corporate espionage, and the best part? The memo confirmed that Dan had proposed delaying my promotion not because of performance, but to keep her motivated just long enough to extract everything she knows. They called me too loyal to suspect. I wasn't angry anymore. I was focused. Within 24 hours, I forwarded the memo to my legal team, then shared it, carefully anonymized again. In a follow-up video, they called me too loyal to suspect. Now they're being investigated by the FBI. That one hit 6 million views. Within the next week, the CEO of the company stepped down for personal reasons. Dan's LinkedIn mysteriously vanished. And an SEC probe into insider activity began. Meanwhile, I got a call from Forbes. They wanted to feature me as one of America's most relentless self-starters. At the photo shoot, I wore a navy blazer, the same one I used to wear to work every Monday, while people joked I dressed too professionally for someone who'd never get promoted. During the interview, they asked me what triggered my transformation. I smiled. It wasn't one big moment. It was the 1,000 little times I was told to wait, to be patient, to let others shine first. I got tired of being their shadow. But just as the interview wrapped up, I got an anonymous message from an internal email address. You don't know the full truth. Dan was just a puppet. The real person behind everything is someone you trusted. And there was a video file attached. I opened it and saw a familiar face on the screen. Rachel, the intern I mentored. The one I treated like a little sister. She was in a closed-door meeting, presenting my software, claiming it as her idea. And Dan? He was just sitting quietly beside her, taking notes. I stared at the screen, my breath caught in my throat. Rachel, the intern I defended when others called her lazy. The one I stayed late to help, the one I gave access to my sandbox files just to help her learn. There she was, standing confidently in front of a whiteboard, explaining my algorithms, my architecture, like she wrote it herself. She was smiling, confident. She even name-dropped me mid-pitch. She mentored me, yes, but she lacked the vision to scale this. I took it further. That one sentence hit me harder than any of Dan's betrayals ever did. She wasn't just copying me. She was erasing me. I felt every moment I'd believed in her, wasted, every late-night conversation. Every time I told her, you've got potential, just stay focused. She stayed focused. All right. On stabbing me in the back. I forwarded the video to my attorney immediately. This changes everything, he said. She's breached multiple IP laws. And if she's representing it as her own invention, we can escalate this to criminal charges. But I didn't respond. I sat with it, not out of defeat, but strategy. I knew I had one final card left to play. Point one that would not only protect my legacy, but make sure no one in that building ever underestimated someone quiet again. So, I made a call. To the CEO of the investment firm that bought my tool, and then to a few journalist contacts who had been hounding me for an exclusive, and finally, to the event coordinator of the Tech Women Rising Summit, the biggest industry conference of the year. I was already invited to speak, but now, I wanted the closing keynote. 2 weeks later, I walked onto the main stage in Los Angeles. The room was packed. Over 6,000 people. Cameras flashing. Live streams rolling. Top execs from all over Silicon Valley were watching. I took a deep breath and told the entire story, from 9 years of loyalty. To the 40% insult. To the quiet betrayal. To the attempted theft, and then I played the clip, the one of Rachel claiming ownership. The audience gasped, and then I clicked to the final slide, the software she claimed as hers, officially patented under my name. Now licensed by 14 Fortune 500 companies. I paused. Looked into the camera. If they laugh at your silence, let them. If they ignore your work, let them. If they try to steal your fire, burn brighter. Success isn't loud, but it echoes. The room exploded in applause. Within 48 hours, Rachel's job offer with another firm was rescinded. Dan was formally charged with conspiracy to commit fraud. My story trended across LinkedIn, Reddit, and TechCrunch. And I received 3 offers to speak at Ivy League schools about corporate resilience. But the best part? One Monday morning, I got a package. Inside was a card. No name. Just 2 words, you won. And underneath it, a crumpled company badge. Dan's. I smiled, not out of spite. Not even revenge, but satisfaction, because they thought I was just another loyal employee, but I was the storm they never saw coming, and now, they'll never forget the name Ellie.